several of the key cast members have actually decided not to come back. Zoe Saldana is done. Dave Bautista is done. Chris Pratt, he says he's open to the idea of playing Star-Lord again. And even director James Gunn, he is leaving now to go be the co-CEO of DC Studios, the arch enemy.
He's a traitor.
So there's some pretty important and key people who are saying goodbye to the MCU. And that kind of makes me question, is this the end of another era for the MCU?
The Guardians of the Galaxy is very unique, but it worked in like a huge way. And so to see it end, their story end, and then like maybe Star-Lord's coming back, but all of them are done, and even the director's done, it's kind of like, so what is it going to look like now that the good director and the like good,
the headliners,
like the headliners,
sense, the familiar,
like the ones we have left that were from, you know, like Endgame time, you know, like it's.
I think this
challenging.
This phase out of these familiar faces kind of reminds me of that Endgame experience. Chris Evans is likely not coming back. No. Robert Downey Jr. is not likely coming back. Like, these are central people to the MCU canon that we just associate with these characters. And now the Guardians have really become a very beloved franchise. And now there's even more A-list celebrities that they just want to be done with it. It's sad, of course, because, you know, MCU, the casting director across the MCU has just absolutely like hit it out of the park with getting top tier celebrities, actors, actresses to come in and play these beloved characters. And so now we're experiencing this sort of like farewell chapter in a sense. But yeah, these are familiar people that we're probably not going to see in a Marvel movie again.
Which is crazy. But they've been introducing new people.
They have been introduced.
They're going into a place where they're going to be all new people, except for maybe like a few that are like older. I
think that's been maybe a struggle area for Marvel in this current multiverse saga of having to deal with so many people wanting to leave, and they're trying to introduce new characters, new faces that we can become familiar with. But yeah, there is that sort of disconnect of, oh man, all of my favorite people are not coming back. And the Guardians are gonna be around. Like, the Guardians aren't going away.
Yeah, they're just not gonna have a main.
It's gonna look different.
It's gonna look.
And they did
different.
sort of tease that with the end of this movie. The story kind of comes to a nice conclusion. All the Guardians, no one dies. Which
is
there were
so crazy.
There were two like fake out deaths that happened. Rocket and Star-Lord. They like almost get you with Star-Lord. He's out in space. His face kind of like puffs up.
I thought it was gonna explode.
I thought he was just gonna blow up right there.
Yeah, which I want to point that out, that none of the main characters died, which I thought was a really great choice. Like it was like the story was still heart-wrenching and like emotional and like good without there being any major deaths, which I think if you could do that successfully, you did a good job.
You did a good job. And there is this sort of like kumbaya moment in the end where they all kind of like respectfully go their separate ways. And it has a really nice bow on it at the end to sort of say goodbye to these characters and to these actors. It was a really like special moment in the end and kind of sentimental. It was sort of a sweet moment. Of course, the famous line from Groot, who we've only ever heard him say, "I am Groot." We actually hear as the audience, we hear Groot say the words, "I love you guys." Which is just so like a cute. Really sentimental moment.
Thing.
It was just a cute touch.
And I think it was more for the audience than it was for anything else. I mean, like, it was so, like, because we have known that only certain people can actually understand Groot when he speaks. And so just knowing in the end we get to understand what he's saying is just a sweet little, like, gift, you know?
That's like the best fan service you could get. If you enjoyed this, click the video on your screen and I'll see y'all in the next one.